As I'm recording this review, my local cinema did something called a secret screening. Now what that is, basically you don't know what the movie's going to be until the title card shows up on screen, but it's always going to be a new movie that's not been released as of yet. Well, tonight's secret screening was a movie called Next Goal Wins, which is due to come out, I believe, in general release and according to IMDb on December 26th. So it was pretty cool that I got a chance to check this one out just that tad little bit early. This is directed by Taika Waititi, also writes this movie alongside Iain Morris, who was an executive producer on The In-Betweeners, which is a great English-British comedy TV show. If you've not checked it out, absolutely recommend doing so. But before we go into that, just firstly, hey guys, what's going on? Thank you for tuning into this review and thank you for spending your time to check out my thoughts on Next Goal Wins, which is going to be spoiler free. The story of this movie I didn't know really much about, except from seeing Elliot from Iron More's short review, so shout out to Elliot. And I didn't really know much about this, and I know my friend Noah and Rad loved this movie, so I was intrigued when the title card showed up. Basically, the plot here is Thomas Rongen, who is played by Michael Fassbender, is a touch coach, and with this he gets fired from his job, and the alternatives he's got really is either having no job or being the coach of the soccer team American Samoa, who in 2001 lost a World Cup match 31-0. So he takes on the job, and of course he's going to try to take these kind of losers into winners. Do you want access to early videos you won't ever see here onto the channel? Well, click the link down below in the description box today and join my Patreon with memberships only starting from £1 per month. You get so much extra stuff and it costs less than one coffee per day. And I'd also like to give a quick thank you to all my awesome patrons who help to really support the channel and who are also reaping all these benefits, so join them today. Yeah, let's just go into some positives right away. I will say that this movie is well shot. There's times where it had really good humour, and Taika Waititi's kind of humour definitely is sprinkled throughout here. Whether that is a good thing or a bad thing for some people, which we'll get into, but there's definitely times where I found myself chuckling. There was moments where humour, and I definitely think that all the cast here were good. Michael Fassbender was pretty good here. I think he does a role that we've seen from him before, but also he gets to do a little bit more comedic timing with his performance, which I like, because a lot of movies I've seen him in, he plays a serious role, so it's kind of nice for him to kind of just be stripped back a little bit, have a little bit of a comedic timing to him, and I think he does pretty good on that front. I also will say that the football action that we do have, don't expect that you're going to get like absolutely flooded with football action here. Yeah, there is some. Of course, the team have got to have a training, they've got to have like the montage moments, and of course they've got to have a match, which you're going to see, but it's not as if this is like match after match after match throughout the entire 3-act structure, to the point by at the end, you know, it's like the World Cup final and everything like that. That's not what this story is. So at least I appreciate this being inspired by true events, which I don't know how much of it is actually true to the source material, except from maybe like the end credits where it kind of is like, oh yeah, this person did this person did that, and this is what happened here, etc. Those moments were probably maybe the most factual of this, but I'm not exactly too sure, and I can't guarantee that is 100% true. But again, cinematography is pretty good, there's moments of humour. This ultimately is just like an underdog, feel-good story, like, you know, plot beats, basically where this movie's going to start, and basically where it ends up. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's times where you can just sit back and just enjoy and relax and watch a movie like this and be like, you know, that was a nice movie, I had a good time, you know, I can walk out with kind of like a smile on my face. Does it mean that I'm going to remember this movie? No, not necessarily, and I guess that leans more into the negatives, because as I mentioned, it is basically a paint by numbers story. You know where this movie starts, you know exactly where it's going to end by the time it leads you on the 3rd act, and it's just a shame, because I would have liked a couple more like maybe twists and turns. I feel as if there was room in the script to have those moments where you'd be like, oh wow, okay. There is one kind of involving Michael Fassbender, which that's all I will say, but I feel like as if it's kind of in there right at the end, just for kind of like a prep talk and to have that kind of like inspiring moment in the movie. And it was nice, but I think if it was developed more, it would have paid off, but unfortunately it didn't hit me in that emotional connection which I know the movie was going for. So I feel like as if it misses out on just grabbing that kind of audience connection. But hey, some people will see that and be like, oh wow, okay, you know, maybe that will grab them. But unfortunately for me, it didn't. Have I seen better kind of movies based on football and those kind of sports movies? Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you guys probably have as well. But ultimately, I will say there is moments of Taika Waititi humour that doesn't work. There's a couple of jokes too many that's forced. He does make a cameo, and I don't think he's great. I don't know why he had to insert himself into the picture. He wasn't really needed. If we didn't have him, the movie probably would have been a little bit better. But ultimately, I'll say that I walked out with a smile on my face. I had a good time, and ultimately, yeah, I would definitely say if it's on like streaming, you know, go out and check this movie. But I can't say, you know, rush out to the cinema to go and see it. So my overall score for Next Goal Wins is a 3 out of 5. So are you going to check out Next Goal Wins? Are you going to skip this one? Let me know down below in the comment section, because you've heard my opinion. Now it's time for yours. And yeah, let's continue the discussion down there. Hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, certainly give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button down below. And until the next time that I see you guys, I'll be seeing you later.